You're listening to Operator.
Hi. Oh my god, this is so weird. I haven't spoken into a mic in like the longest time. But hi, welcome. My name's Andrea. I'm gonna be playing some atmospheric drum and bass and a bit of jungle jazz and talking about the origins of it. I hope you enjoy it. The first track was High Times by Big Bud from Infinity Plus Infinity. It's one of my favorite albums, and this one that's sounding right now in the background is Heat by Wax Doctor. In case you don't know what atmospheric drum and bass is, it's a subgenre of drum and bass jungle that kind of appears at the peak of the rave scene and the breakcore and like this very hardcore breakbeat scene, and I think it's to kind of counteract like this very hectic scene. The music is essentially the opposite while still making use of like the really up-tempo vibes. It takes like a lot of musical inspiration from hip-hop, trip-hop, ambient, acid jazz, has a lot of like percussive elements, of course, drum and bass. while merging it with like more of an ethereal soundscape. I think by now, this is the third song, you kind of get the gist of what it's like. What I think makes this genre the most special, at least for me, is that I love drum and bass, but it's not always the place and time to play it. So I feel like this kind of makes it accessible. It doesn't have to be played in a really big rave. It can be played at a bar. Indeed, one of the places where this kind of subgenre consolidates itself is at a party called Speed, I believe. Yes, at the Mars Bar in London by LTJ Bookham, which, if you don't know him, he's one of the pioneers of this sound. And he has like one of the only record labels that really focuses on that sound called Good Looking. This is one of my favorite songs, actually, as well. Everything's my favorite. This is by LTJ Bookham, and it's Rainfall, and I really like the little sounds of the droplets coming down. Sorry if I scared anyone with that mix. It was my intention not to really mix, but I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a try. But I think the thinking, talking, mixing at the same time is not possible for me right now. So yeah, just a disclaimer, I'm not really gonna mix anymore, I think. I talked about good-looking records. This record label has a lot of like sub-record labels. I think one of them is Looking Good Records, Earth Records, stuff like that. It's really worth checking it out. But there's also other record labels that are very interesting, like Metalheads. I think it's harder to find atmospheric drum and bass because these were just kind of general jungle and drum and bass record labels. But there's also Omni Music, Scientific Wax, Jungle Skies, Higher Limits. I'm just giving you a few in case you want to check it out. There's definitely more, but I think Good Looking really like gets it on the spot. This is On the Nile by Peshai, I think that's how you say it, on Metalheads. we're moving into a bit deeper sounds. This is a compilation called Legally Stoned. I think it's on Higher Limits, which, if it's not a record label I mentioned before, I'm mentioning it now. A lot of jungle jazz in this album, and a lot of like really iconic people like Shogun, Nuki, Voyager, Adam F. And this tune is Diverse City, I believe. Yes, by Helen T. A Way of Life from the same album of the first song, Infinity Plus Infinity by Big Bud. I couldn't not play two tunes from this album. It's just fucking amazing. I just wanted to say a little bit more, about the genre, but I think specifically how it makes me feel, because clearly this is about me. But I think it's kind of remarkable that this music kind of appeared in the beginning of the 90s, and it feels so fresh and so futuristic, and it really reminds me of this whole like kind of artistic and just social movement of the early 2000s that's called Y2K futuristic optimism, and it's when all these new technologies kind of rise up, like appear, and then people get really excited and they're doing like, I don't know, making use of it as much as they can and kind of imagining what the future will look like now that we have the internet. But I feel like this reminds me of that, except that came like 10 years after. So in a way, I think Django is already quite like a future focused, like future forward, I don't know, genre. But the fact that this came out like shortly after and it's future focused, but even more than Django, it's just mind blowing to me. I don't know if maybe is the years that have passed that give you like a different perspective on it, but I think this is like genius level of just production and just the creativity behind it, and the idea of like merging kind of this ambient-y atmospheric vibe with such a aggressive like music as drum and bass can be.
Sine waves set the ascending groove session in motion. Deeper than the ocean, these flows be. They got you open. Can you cope when you hear the next level? So roll with the bass and ride with the treble. Falling from the sky sideways at the ascending groove session in motion. Deeper than the ocean, these flows be. They got you open. Can you cope when you hear the next level? So roll with the bass and ride with the treble. Can you cope when you hear the next level? Who am I, the MC? The vocal note to assist your mission. Writes an addition to the disc jockey. Stop me before linguistics take control. I roll on assisted wordplay, my only weapon. My arsenal consists of metaphors and verbs and rhyming camouflage. Bombard your mind and entourage until you get the message. Hidden encrypted clues, mystic brews, leave brains black and blue. Bruise your mental with experimental prophecies. Planting antibodies of the drum and bass variety in the system. While the PhD ascends your grooves and keeps your mind twisted. So just listen, that's the only thing I need from you. Let us see you through the next level. DRS, the mic mathematician, doctor of flows, apply the antidote to battle fakeness. Take this 3 times a day, 3 times a night. Beats to make your feet ignite from dancing. Now's your only chance to express. Hold on tight while it manifests. We come correct and affect your mind with the poison known as music, leaving your thoughts cruising. Falling from the sky, sound waves at the ascending groove session in motion. Deeper than the ocean, these flows be. They got you open. Can you cope when you hear the next level? So roll with the bass and ride with the treble. Falling from the sky, sound waves at the ascending groove session in motion. Deeper than the ocean, these flows be. They got you open. Can you cope when you hear the next level? So roll with the bass and ride with the treble. Falling from the sky, sound waves at the ascending groove session in motion. Deeper than the ocean, these flows be. They got you open. Can you cope when you hear the next level? So roll with the bass and ride with the treble. Sounds of ascending grooves with a PhD in DRS. Taking your thoughts to the apex of all comprehension. We progress.
Needed to put down the VPM of that song because damn, it's really fast. The song prior to this with the MC is Distant Minds by DP. I wanted to play it to kind of showcase that a lot of these songs draw a lot of inspiration from hip hop, and indeed most of them have MCs or soul singers over them. And I think my favorite ones always have a little bit of lyrics. It gives it like an extra soothing vibe, as opposed to the one that's sounding right now in the background. It's way more like synthetic. I like it too, but it's maybe less chill. The one right now, it's Hypersleep. It's on RNS Records, and I think it's by Voyager. Yes.
Recognize this place? No, I know. Okay, it's just that this might be a shock to you. It's long.
How long?
Please. 57 years.
what a fucking track. It's so good. I found out about this track like maybe 2 days ago. It's Body Swerve by DJ Addiction. Fucking slaps. Like, I don't know what makes it so good, but it's fucking great. Also, perfect description of like how you can mold other genres, in this case jazz, to fit things like drum and bass. Like, so, good, best producing. Wrong headphones. I was like, why can't I hear myself? I pitched down the BPM of this earlier, just to make it easier for me and for it not to be too harsh, but this is the actual BPM. I was gonna say just in case you were wondering, but just so you know, because it's much faster.
identified flying object.
I'll take you up to the highest heights.
1.3 degrees, 18.5 degrees elevation. Unknown object. D1 control doesn't know what type of aircraft it is either.
This is We're Not Alone by 187. It's a bit different than the other ones. It's way more junkly. Doesn't have so many like ambient, like atmospheric sounds. It does have like kind of this ethereal, like sounds like crystals are like clinging. But I wanted to add it because it's really hard to find women producers. There's a lot of, I do know, I mean a lot. They're still the minority, but I do know quite a lot of women DJs back in the day that were doing playing drum and bass and also even producing drum and bass, but not a lot of this like kind of more ethereal vibe. And if they did, it was like a one-off. And I also find it interesting that she is from Seattle. The rest of the producers I've played today are all from the UK, mostly except Seba. He's from Sweden, I think. But yeah, they're European, and she comes from Seattle. And you can kind of really tell that she's an American producer because the samples she uses, the voices, the vocals are much more housey. Like they really remind me of like Chicago and New York kind of house. Like that type of soul vocals rather than the more laid back UK soul songs. Time's running out. There's a lot of things I want to play. I just want to say, if anyone's listening and you want to know more about it, or you want to have like more record labels or more artists, let me know. They're quite easy to find because they were quite popular, but I'm happy to send you links to articles I've read and like albums and stuff I have. I want to move on a bit, kind of like not in the future of this sound, but how it kind of came and left pretty fast. I think Good Looking Records stopped producing in like 2014, but I think after the late 2000s, maybe 2008, they stopped making so many albums. I think the genre maybe become a bit saturated. I don't know. But you do have kind of like people that keep doing this, of course. And it's very like a very clear pathway from this to liquid drum and bass. I'm not the biggest fan because I feel like it can be a bit repetitive, but I think there's a couple really good producers that do really nice liquid, and I'm gonna show them to you next.
the devil and daylight. We're just holding on to something last night. We're just running from the Saturday sunrise. We're just holding on to something last night. When you're caught between the devil and daylight. We're just holding on to something last night.
This is Caliber and DRS as MC. I think Caliber is one of the pioneers of like liquid drum and bass, but I think he has such a nice touch to it. I feel like liquid can get a bit like too synthetic and too flat, and I don't know what he does, but it's just remarkable. And DRS's vocals are great. I saw them once in like 2019, just before COVID hit, and I just couldn't believe it, and I still have it in my head. Like DRS was kept saying sounds of the caliber, and yeah, I don't know, it's like engraved. But if you don't know who Caliber is, he's super famous. You should know it. You should check him out. He has amazing tunes, and I think it's like the good side of what remains of this kind of more chill drum and bass. That said, there's still fantastic producers doing like tunes. It's just that people are not doing like full albums, so it's not like their main focus. Like once in a while you'll have an EP with 5 tunes and one of them will be like more chill drum and bass, and I miss having like a whole EP that's like atmospheric drum and bass, so we should bring it back. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you with the end of the song. Thank you for listening and hope you learned something, and if not, hope you enjoy the tunes.